Hey, Brian King here. I just received an email from a client of mine where she used a brilliant strategy so beautifully that I don't believe I've talked about before. So I wanted to make sure that I get it out there. It's a strategy that I call attending, and it's very good for helping people with ADHD or Asperger's that are prone to getting tongue-tied. They have a hard time having lengthy conversations. They have slow processing, so they avoid talking to people at all. But it doesn't have to be an all or nothing proposition where if you can't sit down and have even a meaningful conversation or mediocre small talk in order to engage another person, it means that you simply can't communicate with the world. This is not true, especially in the era of texting and social media. So let me give you a sense of how this client used this strategy. She has family members that are very likely on the autism spectrum. And they don't like hanging out. They don't like having lengthy conversations. But my client still wants to be engaged with these folks. Let's call my client Sue, just to kind of give a little bit more a personal touch to this. So what Sue had the brilliant idea to do is to just start doing these little check-ins. And she would put things like, TGIF on Friday. And you can put an emoticon, a big smiley face, maybe a little firework or something that signifies that you're happy it's Friday. And that's it. Don't ask them to respond. Don't say, what's up? What's new? Just that little touch. TGIF, a little firework, and leave it alone. Then maybe on Saturday, you put something like, nice weather. Leave it alone. You're not asking for a lot. What you're doing is you're putting yourself on this person's radar so they don't forget about you. They know you're present. They know you're available. Because one thing that I've realized is that the longer it goes between the time you talk to somebody and the time they reach out to you, you build up some kind of relational inertia. It becomes a lot harder to talk to that person the longer it's been since you've talked. Especially when you're dealing with somebody that has ADHD or Asperger's. So you got to keep that touch constant because it makes you more accessible to them, even in a small way. So on a Monday, you might put something like, thinking of you, hope you have a nice day. You're just showing statements of caring. You're just attending. You're just showing up. You're not asking anything of them. You're not expecting anything in return. And the cool thing is you will likely get something in return. You'll get a thumbs up, an emoticon. You will get a thanks. Just nice and sweet, little bullet point exchanges, little bites. Because for people that can have a hard time having conversations, lengthy thoughts, they'll get exhausted quickly. They'll become frustrated with you because you're asking so many questions. Doesn't have to be that. It can be these little bites, okay? Now, how does that translate over into social media? Because Facebook in particular has become a real safe haven for people with ADHD, dyslexia, Asperger's, all kinds of learning challenges, especially if they have problems with speech, conversation. So the same principle exists. Whether you are somebody with ADHD, in fact, let's go from that perspective. This is something I offer to my clients quite often, especially the kids that are really shy, withdrawn, don't have any friends, and they want to learn how to reach out. First thing I do is get them on Facebook. And I teach them how to kind of control things so that they're not overwhelmed with political mumbo jumbo and all that stuff. So I suggest to them, connect with family members first because they're familiar with you. You can let them know what you are trying to do. You're trying to spread your wings, go outside your comfort zone. You're on Facebook now. Okay. So when you start showing up on their profiles in the following way, they'll know what you're up to. You're going to begin by checking and see what they're up to in their life. Okay. You're going to look at something that they're talking about. Hey, went to the doctor today, had a good outcome. Like or love. Hey, we're going away to see this movie and I hear it's really great. Like or love. just using those very generic touches, because it shows the first thing you need to do is you need to read what's going on in their life. So for people on the spectrum or who have ADHD, who have that subjective setting of, I'm the center of the universe and I really don't give a shit about other people's lives. You can't live like that forever, okay? It just doesn't work, trust me. So when you start having to read other people's status updates to first get a sense of what's going on in their life, then you respond with like or love or something else. Once you're comfortable with that, then you can start making one-word comments. Wow, awesome, cool, great. There are a lot of words you can use that describe emotion, that you don't have to use a lot of words to get it out there. And a word is far more compelling to a person than just simply clicking like. It's more personal, it's more engaged. So when you can start doing that on Facebook and you realize that you can say this single word, convey your support, that you're showing up in their life, that you care enough to look at it and respond. And they may respond to you by liking your comment or even commenting back. That is the beginning, my friend, of breaking through that wall between you and the rest of the world. Yeah, it's digital, but guess what? We live in a digital age. And not every human being is wired to connect the same way. We are often, people like us are often referred to as being like Mr. Spock-like, or like Data from Star Trek, or worst case scenario, robotic. Okay? So the more you describe us as kind of linear people, one-dimensional people, all logic, all technical, well then damn it, give us the technology to work with. Because that's how we are going to break through first. If that's our area of strength, that's going to be our first line. And once we get through that, and we can start experiencing some emotions, some authenticities, some real vulnerability in a safer way, then we can begin taking those leaps to doing the things on a much more personal level, more face-to-face. I have led many clients down this path with great success. And I wanted to make sure that I put it out there. So this is how to do attending. This is how to connect with people that have ADHD or Asperger's, that have a real difficult time having a conversation with you. And if you're one of those folks, this is how you can begin to engage the rest of the world. It's so easy, it's so straightforward, and it's so powerful. So try it and let me know if this is helpful, okay? Come back and comment on this video or send me a message and let me know. This has been Brian King. Have an awesome day.